Heavenly Father, before we ask for anything, we come to you expressing our gratitude for everything. We thank you that everyone listening to this was on the wake up list this morning. And we thank you for all that you've done, doing, and going to do. Father, today we're going to be talking about rebuilding trust and relationships. We know that we're made in your image, but we often fall short of glory when it comes to living up to that image. The grace, the favor, and the mercy that you give us is an example of how we should extend that to one another. We acknowledge that we often fall short because we are human. So work on us to be more like you and extend that grace, mercy, and forgiveness. Remind us that every time we have the opportunity to build trust, that you give us a clean slate every time we confess our sins genuinely. Work on our hearts to be like yours so it can show up in our actions. In Jesus' name, amen.
If you lazy, you waking up at fucking 3 o'clock in the afternoon and shit like that,
Popping bottles,
you're setting the tone for everybody because you're the leader.
popping pills,
That's just what comes with being a man.
popping bitch ass niggas.
I don't want nobody making decisions over my life except me. Not a woman, not a judge, not an officer, not no motherfucker body.
When them bullets hit him up, look like son had a seizure. Run up, give it up, you know the procedure. I be sipping Jack and honey.
I don't think nothing can make me feel like a man. I don't think nothing can make me not feel like a man.
Chains on my collar.
You can't take the benefits of being a man without the responsibilities.
Give you niggas halos, all got it in the king.
What up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode. I am Jones.
I'm Terry Roseland. What's the fuck is going on?
Wow,
I can't-
that soon?
I can't go there.
Jesus,
Yeah.
give it 3 minutes.
Damn. What's the time? It's a 3-minute buffer till I could curse again?
I think so.
Okay.
Maybe 5. I don't know.
Well, the intro is going to play between us saying this, so that's like
Okay,
a
cool.
minute right
The
there.
listeners. But just so y'all know, when y'all hear this now, he did that shit like 2 seconds after I finished the prayer.
What's going on, y'all? I appreciate y'all for tuning back in with us, man. We got another episode. We got some important shit, some real shit, some deep shit, and possibly some entertaining shit we want to talk to y'all about, man. Shout out to Real. Real's here. You want to say hi to the people, Real?
Yo,
Real be in the gym. He working out. That nigga runs like an action figure.
he run like CJ.
That nigga runs like Captain America, bro.
He run like CJ. I'm great that motto. Hey, I'm just happy to see him in there.
That nigga run like he's on a PlayStation 2 video game, bro.
Hey man, hey, remember I got shot in my leg, man. Remember
Yeah,
that.
your ass got shot every year.
Oh, my God. That nigga was running like he got shot. Hey, but nonetheless, bro was in the gym, and I fuck with it. Hey, y'all, today that shit gonna be off my story by the time y'all listen to this. So I pulled up on Terry today to his gym for good reason.
For sure.
For good reason. But nah, we working out, and I promise you this was a genuine mistake. So I'm lifting. Y'all know I lift. That's what I do. Bro, I asked him, I pulled up, I'm like, yeah, what you working on today? He like, shit, I don't know. Like, so you just in this bitch with the vibes. You just, whatever you see, like, I'll fuck with that.
Pretty much.
He said, I'm gonna go hit the bag. I'm like, all right, nigga, you gonna work, you gonna do what I do today. So we get to this machine, we're working on our back, and I did my weight. I think I was at like 205 or some shit. But it's like the lat pull downs. And we talking, in the midst of us talking, I forget to change bro weight. He pulled that shit, looked at me and said, nigga, you got me fucked up. Take this shit down.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I be at the gym and shit, you know what I'm saying? And like, it's been times where, I'm gonna be completely honest. It's been times where I'm finna use a machine and I go to lift the shit. It'll be my first time using it, so I don't know how much I would lift on this shit.
Right.
So I go to pull or whatever they had, and I'm like, damn, this shit heavy as hell. In my mind, I be like, bro, niggas not lifting this. Somebody just put the slot right there to make it seem like they was lifting some heavy shit. Can't nobody lift this shit. And that was the type of weight this nigga had. Bro, the shit was so heavy, it's a lat pull down, bro. I could have picked my feet up off the ground and hung on that shit, and it wouldn't have pulled down, bro. Like when I tried to pull that shit, it lifted me up, bro. I'm pulling that shit, trying to pull it down. I was like, I could have jumped over the shit. I'm like, this nigga strong as fuck, bro.
Somebody has said, bro, turn that bitch to a pull up.
Bro.
Hey, nah. We finna get bro strong as hell. I'm gonna be pulled up.
Man, I am not finna be lifting that heavy ass shit. I don't know what the fuck he talking about. I'm not doing that shit. I was telling him when I was in there, like, I don't even know what give niggas the mental. That's why I say niggas who lift weights, like all that combat sports shit, I think that shit necessary. I think that shit is great. Sure. However, I think the mental fortitude for a nigga to lift weights is on a whole nother level because combat sports and shit is competitive. So we all could kick into a competitive drive and be like, I'm trying to get better at this, at that, da-da-da.
And especially when you're going against somebody, another man.
Exactly. You got a measuring stick. Pause. But when you lifting weights, bro, it's like some you versus you shit. Ain't nobody making you do this shit. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck would make you say today I want to go lift the heaviest shit that I can pick up? Like, even when I lift weights, bro, I go into the gym, like, I know I could curl probably a 50, 60 pound dumbbell, right? I know I could curl that with one hand.
Yeah.
I'm going to get a 25 pound dumbbell and curl that bitch till I get tired, bro. What the fuck am I picking up a 60 pound dumbbell for just because I can? What the fuck is we doing? Like,
we doing whole sets with that bitch.
Man, I'm not.
I didn't leave till like 11.
Yeah, that parking was free today, so.
Yeah,
yeah. Go crazy. But nah, bro, that shit, you strong as fuck. I'm cool on that shit. I don't want my joints fucked up. I don't want all the risk of injury. Like, when I was doing it, I'm like, this how niggas be getting hurt. This shit overly heavy for no fucking reason.
Right now, dead ass, my left wrist is fucked up. My left knee has a tweak in it, and I remember exactly when I did that. Last Saturday, I had the 100-pound dumbbell, and I was holding that bitch like this, and I was like squatting, and my knee kind of went the wrong way. It's a small tweak. I'm not like in pain, but I can't do like simple shit. I'm chilling right now on that motherfucker.
So this nigga got sport injuries,
and
because he want to lift heavy ass weights,
and
self-inflicted.
I got remember the herniated disc in my back.
For what? Because I want to be running shoes.
For the love of money.
Man, fuck that shit. You better lift some light weights and just be cut the fuck up, man.
Yeah, buddy. You gonna say I'm gonna end up like Ronnie Coleman?
That's his name, Ronnie Coleman?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah. You fucked up.
Nah, it's that one nigga. He'll have 4 or 5 benching, and then he'll sit up with that bitch. You saw that shit? His joint, he's gonna be worse than Ronnie Coleman.
Oh, you talking about the nigga with the dreads?
The long dread. And then like he be wrapping his dread in his hand. That nigga,
he's strong as fuck.
That's God-like strength. That's a gift. That's not. He didn't work for that. I don't want to say that, but it's something that just got like natural.
Shit that been the bar.
Yeah,
like, that's crazy.
It look cool, but no, I'm okay.
Yeah. And is it functional strength though?
A lot of the times, no.
Yeah.
A lot of the times, no. So that's where like what we talking about, like the vice grips, all of that shit come in, and like regardless, I'm strong. But for a lot of people, I'm gonna tell y'all a secret. That was a great question. Yeah. A lot of niggas that's in the gym, like they can like lift heavy weight like that. They typically don't have functional strength.
I remember when I was doing Kung Fu when I was a shorty, and we had to do push-ups and shit, and there was this bodybuilder dude there, and the coach would not the coach, he was a sensei, whatever the fuck he was. That nigga was scary. He was a scary man. Yeah. He cut my shirt open with his fingernails. Like the nigga literally did this, and he like ripped my shirt. Shit was crazy. He's an old man too. He's a monk. That's what he was. A fucking Shaolin monk. That's what he was. And he used to pick on the bodybuilder. Because he was like, nigga, you not strong. Yeah. Like, you can't do shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Pull-ups, push-ups, none of that shit. But this nigga was like pulling, with the belt on, pulling semi-trucks and shit. Like, that's what he used to do. And he was just embarrassing in so many different ways. And I don't know if that's what gave me the confidence I have of like fighting niggas. Because I be feeling like I don't care about none of that shit. Like, that's how you feel. Like, size and all that shit is just like, you either can fight or you can't. Like, that's what this shit come down to.
After I posted it, I'm like, damn, I should repost it. I said I forgot to take the weight down for bro, but I thought I should have put it in parentheses. But don't think it's sweet because he'll break your fucking nose.
Nah, I mean, but at the same time, I'm not gonna lie. Today, when I saw like the shit you was lifting, I'm like, it's hard to imagine that this can't translate into a fight because this shit is heavy as fuck.
100%.
Like, this shit is heavy as fuck. So I don't know. I don't know how that shit not functional. It was explained to me that like if you doing a heavy, you lifting heavy, but the range of motion, for instance, on a bench press is so limited, and it cancel out so many other muscles that's why it's not functional versus a push up. You might have the same range of motion on a push up as a bench press, but you're not isolating no muscles. So your whole body, it's all the stabilizer muscles and all of that. So the nigga who do the push-ups is gonna be better at slamming a motherfucker, for example, than the nigga who just bench pressing that shit.
Yeah, I started out like the last time I've been consistent, maybe 4-5 years now. Yeah. But before I went back into the gym, I knew I locked in on calisthenics. Yeah. Like I wasn't gonna go to the gym until I could at least do 60 push-ups straight. Like it's pointless for me to go in the gym and lift weights if I can't do 60 push-ups. Like that's just my thinking.
Got you.
I'm trying to get Trey to realize that. He's like, can I go to the gym? You ain't even been doing your push-ups, nigga. No, you can't come.
Yeah, man. I still just regular. I prefer calisthenics. It's easy for me to get motivated to do that shit. It's easy for me to challenge myself with that shit. That heavy ass weight, bro, man.
The jiu-jitsu coach that we went to, that shit been in my head, nigga, since we've been there. He had said he like if I get into a fight, like nigga, we're not finna be fighting. I'm gonna close the distance immediately. Take your ass to the ground, either break your arm or choke you out. Like we're not gonna be throwing punches back and forth.
Yeah.
And I adopted that ever since I heard it. I'm like, I ain't fought since 2020. Yeah. But if I was to, I ain't finna. Yeah, I'm strong, but I'm gonna close the distance, and nigga, you're not gonna be able to stop me from. Like, that's what I'm on.
For sure. And the fact that now that I see how heavy shit that you lift, and you felt like the jiu-jitsu nigga was strong as hell.
Right.
So that nigga strong as shit.
That's bro. I'll never forget that strength.
I seen him walking through Hyde Park. He walked like he closed the distance and broke your fucking arm. For sure. How was your week though?
It was cool. It was smooth. I had a good week. Structured week. I text you. Whenever that was, probably Sunday, Saturday. Just planned out my whole week. I'm back. Structured. Every hour of my day is. Somebody messaged me about that. Like, damn, nigga, I ain't finna give every hour of my day a duty, but I want to clarify. Every hour has something to do, whether that's the naps are included in that, the breaks,
free time,
like like every hour just has something. I'm not like locked in.
But that's also important to. I don't think people realize how important it is to have scheduled free time.
Yeah,
and scheduled me time, meaning that nigga. Because if it's not scheduled, let's say you busy all day, and then you say, okay, at this part, it's not gonna be no schedule, and I'm just free. When people start calling saying, can you do this, can't do that, it's automatically like you getting put in all different directions. The scheduled free time is free. So if a nigga asks, am I busy? Yeah, I'm busy not doing shit. Because I need to not do shit right now. Like, that shit is important. Sure. And I had to realize that for myself. Like, no, G, like, I need this time. Like, it's not even free time, it's me time. Like, it ain't free. Like, I need to not do shit for at least 2-3 hours a day.
Yesterday, my nap, I think my nap was at like 2 o'clock to like 3:30 or some shit, but I wasn't sleepy. Yeah. I'm like, I got to go to sleep now because all them other hours scheduled, I got shit to do. And if I don't go to sleep and then I get sleepy during the time I'm supposed to be productive, it's just going to fuck it up. So
yeah, man. Yeah. My week was cool, bro. My week was cool. I could barely remember what happened, what I did. I know the All-Star game was trash. The Valentine's Day shit. Valentine's Day was cool. I kicked it with Carter on Valentine's Day for real. He was scared to talk to the girl. He never talked to her. I talked to somebody yesterday. I'm like, have you ever even said hi to that girl? He was like, no. I'm like, so you don't even know this girl. What the fuck are we doing? This shit just got even worse. Like,
we got to get Carter right. He gonna end up be the niggas in the DM on Instagram.
I was telling him, bro, I was breaking it down. So I'm like, bro, who is she gonna date if she not gonna date you? He like, I don't know. I'm like, you think she a pretty girl in the class? I'm like, he like, yeah. I'm like, so who's she supposed to date? She like, I don't know. I'm like, you think the prettiest girl supposed to date like the coolest kid in the class? The coolest dude in the class? He like, probably. I'm like, ain't you the coolest kid in class? He like, no. I'm like, who is? He like, I don't know. I'm like, what makes somebody cool? He started out, somebody that's chill, somebody that's funny, somebody that's nice. I'm like, is you chill, funny, nice? He's like, yeah. I'm like, nigga, you got long hair, you got nice skin, nigga, you got your shoes on, you be ironing your shirts and shit, nigga. You the coolest nigga in the class. What the fuck is we talking about right now? Like, who the fuck else she gonna date?
Who else she gonna date, nigga?
Like, it ain't nobody else for her to talk to, nigga. But your ass, you scared to talk to. You finna fuck it up. You finna have her with a lame nigga. What you doing? So I'm hyping him up and shit. Yeah. And I'm like, I tell him a story about. I'm like, you're gonna be so sick if you don't. Now, if you say something to her and you tell her you like her and she don't like you, her loss. No big deal. You can't be attached to the outcome. You can't be heartbroken. She don't like you. It is what it is. Cool. You will be fine with that if she don't like you. She go date somebody else in the class. That's cool. Nigga, y'all in fucking 4th grade, whatever. Now, if you never say shit, and if another one of them other little niggas bag her, you gonna be sick, bro. I was in 8th grade. New chick transferred in, Janelle. Yeah.
Hey, when the new chick transferred back then, it was like,
bro,
it was, yeah, it probably was unhealthy how we was looking at them.
I liked her so much. So she transferred in, she in our class and shit. And she had a lot of freedom. You could tell she just from them houses that she had a lot. She come outside at night. She talk on the phone. I ain't had that. So we was a mismatch just off that. I'm sneaking to talk to her on the phone. This is the house phone shit. So I'm sneaking to talk to her on the phone. I ain't supposed to be on the phone. Mom hopping on the other line. Terry, get your ass off the phone. I'm embarrassing shit because Shorty ain't got no bedtime. I'm like, fuck. She damn near grown out here. So I'm liking it. But this the thing though.
I bet you she got 3 kids right now, but go ahead.
Probably. I mean, we old enough to have 3 kids though. It ain't like we 24.
Oh, I be forgetting.
But basically, I never told her I liked her. Mm-hmm. We was super cool. We was just like friends. But I liked her, but I never could work up the courage to say I liked her, even though I talked to her all day. Mm-hmm. And I think that me being scared to say I liked her, but how cool we was, it just made me feel like she was my girlfriend, even though she wasn't. Like, stupid as hell. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, we talk all day. This is all I want to do anyway.
Yeah, so you was Delulu back then.
I was delusional. Like, and I wasn't trying to fuck.
Right.
Like, I was young as hell. I wasn't trying to fuck. So it's just like, we do everything I would want to do with you anyway. Like, you like my best friend, and I like you. Like, man, G, we leaving at, it's, all through the school year, it's cold outside. Weather break. One day we finna get out of school. It's like one of the first hot days. Somebody, I overheard one of the girls saying like, yeah, Janelle boyfriend Felipe outside. Who the fuck is Felipe? Like, I'm telling Carter this story in the car. He died laughing. I'm like, who the fuck is Felipe? So I'm like, man, we go outside. It's a black nigga named Felipe. I'm like,
sure. I just knew he was Mexican.
Some black nigga named Felipe. He came. He was in high school. He didn't came and walk to pick her up from school on foot and shit. I'm like, man, this shit dumb as fuck. And then we just wasn't cool like that no more. And I'm like, I always regret that. So I'm like, bro, you gonna be sick, bro. You don't tell that girl you like her.
That's a good story to tell them.
Yeah.
Kids remember stories. People remember stories.
Yeah, for sure. I was telling him the story about how I met his mama too. He was super down laughing at that shit.
That's funny as hell.
But yeah, man, other than that, Patreon. What we talking about on Patreon today? We gotta talk about these motherfucking TikTok comments. We need to start doing that. We need to start reviewing TikTok comments in Patreon. How they be going in on us.
You want to start doing the response videos, calling them out?
I did a response video to I didn't call her out. I wasn't on shit for her. I wasn't trying to like.
I just seen it.
But so we talking about that. We talking about. Damn, this shit's taking forever to load up. What else is going on in the world? We talking about some of these planes crashing. And I got some old stuff. Bro, I never told the stories about the girl setting me up that we supposed to have on Patreon. And I never told the stories about my gay homie in Patreon. Well, I don't know if he gay or not, but I know he gay. But
wow.
Don't nobody else know he gay.
You know he's gay, but you don't know if he's gay?
Like, it's a long story. But I know. Mm-hmm. But it's like, it ain't never come out. Mm-hmm. But the nigga stopped being cool with me because...
You homophobic?
No, because he know that I know.
Oh.
Like, I know, and he know that I know.
But don't nobody else know.
But don't nobody else know. So the nigga stopped... Not only did he stop being cool with me, he kind of started making people think I didn't like him. Like, oh, Terry don't fuck with me, ooh. Because I guess he expected me to expose him, and he wanted to already set the tone that like, oh, he just saying that because he don't like me. So he kind of distanced himself from me. And I'm like, I just never told nobody. I'm just like, and I still ain't finna say who it is, but I just want to say, like, I'm gonna tell the story about how all that shit unfolded. But I never told a soul like what this nigga got going on. If that nigga like separated himself because he was scared I was going. I was like, nigga, I ain't on that with you. But anyway, so we're gonna talk about all that shit in Patreon. The topic for the day, man. The topic for the day is rebuilding trust. Mm-hmm. Right? And we're not gonna talk about it from the angle of being the person whose trust was broken and somebody's trying to rebuild it with us. We're gonna talk about it from the angle of the culprit.
Yeah.
We was the fuck nigga. We did it. It's our fault. And we want to rebuild trust with this person who we broke their trust, not just from a relationship standpoint, from a friendship standpoint, and also from a parent standpoint. You can break your kid's trust.
For sure.
People don't think about that. Your kid can stop trusting you.
Yeah.
Over a broken promise, over inconsistency in your behavior. You putting somebody else, you put your girlfriend, your boyfriend over your kid, they can stop trusting you for sure. So we're gonna talk about that shit.
Patreon, I'm gonna holler at y'all.
This is gonna be a great episode. I'm gonna let y'all know that now. I want to kick it off by defining trust. How would you define trust?
I would define trust by. I don't know. You go first.
All right. So trust, I think, is basically 3 pieces to what trust actually is. And that's honesty, reliability, and emotional safety. Right? So I trust that you're going to tell me the truth if I ask you something and be upfront with me. I trust that I can count on you to be who you say you are. I trust that I can count on you to show up for me in certain ways when I need you. So it's that reliability piece. And then that emotional safety. Like, I just trust that, you know, if I tell you something, you're not going to throw it back in my face. I trust that you're not going to do nothing to hurt me. You're not going to do nothing directly at me to hurt me. Verbal abuse, emotional abuse, mental abuse, financial abuse. I got that from Keita Rose, financial abuse, whatever the fuck that is. Can
I get my hair done? No. Can I get my nails done? No, bitch, you're going to budget. Okay.
So that's how I would define trust.
Okay. I'll say like 5 pillars. But it's a bunch of different ways you can define them. I say 5 pillars of trust would be character, competence, consistency, communication, and caring. Right.
Okay.
And it's I
Those
can go
all
in
C's?
They were.
The 5 C's of trust? Head ass.
I didn't notice that.
Run them back one more time?
Character,
Gotcha.
competence, consistency, communication, and caring.
Okay.
So those are like, you know, just 5 quick pillars of trust. And I think a lot of people may have different definitions of trust. So that could possibly, but they could have a lot of different definitions, but generally, motherfuckers know what trust is. But the nuances of it will probably influence somebody to act in a certain way, and that wasn't, and they try to kind of like cover up what they did. Whatever. I ain't break your trust. Ooh. So there's a lot of ins and outs about it, but let's get into it a little deeper.
I think obviously trust is one of those things that it takes a while to build for most people. It takes a while to build. You can break the shit in seconds, and it takes even longer to rebuild, right? If it can be rebuilt, it's so fragile. Like, it's so fragile.
I look at it like glass.
Yeah.
Yeah, trust is like glass, and rebuilding trust is if you break the glass, you got to glue all those little pieces back together. That's what building like. That's what it would feel like if I had to like bring it into the physical.
Yeah.
What does building trust feel like? It feels like you just shattered your car window, and now you have to pick up all of those pieces and glue it back together piece by piece. That's what rebuilding trust could be like.
And I think to even go deeper in that analogy, for one, it's never going to look the same. No matter how much you rebuild, it's never going to look the same. And for 2, it might not actually work no more. The windshield might not be useful. It might be watery. It might be irreparable. You know what I'm saying? If that's a fucking word.
It's just more fragile too. It's not going to take as much to break again.
Damn. Niggas is spitting. Is this poetic?
And it's gonna always be space in that shit for something else.
Yeah.
Damn.
Like at first, like a windshield. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty strong.
Yeah.
Like you ever driving down the street and you behind a fucking truck and you get pow, like, oh shit, what the fuck was that? If you from the city, you probably thought you got shot at. But it could be like a piece of rock or something. Yeah. But it don't shatter it. But if a boulder come through and it shatters and you try to fix that same piece of glass, you know, all the little pieces or whatever, now a pebble can reshatter the glass.
Yeah. And I think it's in trouble. I think it's important to know, even if you're in the wrong and you take full accountability, when it's time to just walk away and say that, like, hey, I want to get to that at the end of this conversation, though.
For sure.
That's part of the end. But I do want to talk about the biggest thing that get in the way of rebuilding trust. As the person who broke the trust. I think one of the biggest things I want to talk about first is defensiveness.
Yeah. That's out the window.
It's hard to allow somebody the space. You cheated on a chick. Mm-hmm. You did somebody wrong. You made a promise to your kid and you broke your promise. And they call you out on it and you get defensive. You know what I'm saying? Your girl call you out and your homie, you pillow talk to some shit. You ain't show up for your homie in the way you supposed to and motherfucker call you out on it and you get defensive. That's one of the biggest barriers for I think that's the most common barrier in the way for the trust to be rebuilt, because once you get defensive to that person is then like, I still can't trust you.
Yeah.
Because you're not even hearing me. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. And it's also offensive too. Yeah. It's also like I don't have a reason. Yeah. I'm talking about the victim.
Yeah.
Like, you getting defensive with me and I get mad about it, and now that you mad and I'm mad.
Exactly.
that's crazy.
Exactly. And it's minimizing how I feel.
Yeah.
It's deflecting from how I feel. You know, so it's just like, not only could I not trust you because of what you did, I can't trust you to handle me in a vulnerable state either because of how you acting. You know what I'm saying? So,
and then the thing as the aggressor, you gotta have patience.
Yeah,
you gotta have patience, and you can't be defensive. I don't know, like I don't know your path or whatever, but I was gonna go on the patience part. Okay, cool. So if you're the aggressor and you broke somebody's trust, you're patient. You just have to have in your mind. I remember a particular situation, like with a relationship I had back when I was super young. My son's mom, I broke her trust in some kind of way, and I had to. I was aware that I had to have patience with the process of rebuilding the trust, and I knew that it was going to be a slow road, a painful road for both of us, because you can be. The wrong thing to do is you want to rush the process because you know you're sincere now. Like, I'm not going to do this shit again.
Yeah.
Like, I know for a fact, and you can know deep down in your soul, but that don't mean that
are you
she
sincere or
that.
are you just guilty? You might feel sincere, but is it really just like the guilt and you scared of this person? You scared you're going to lose this person?
It could be both
that's
sometimes.
Making you feel like you just so sincere. Because a lot of motherfuckers get the girl back and do the same shit.
No, for sure.
When they get comfortable. Yeah.
For sure. But I am going to also take it for the guys who you are probably sincere. Yeah, you are sincere and you did kind of you fucked up and you know you got a good thing and it took for you to break her trust and you get into that situation for it to snap like, damn, I'm tweaking. I got a good ass woman. I'm so sorry. I'm sincere.
Yeah.
And you want to kind of like skip steps in her healing process and the building trust process because you feel like you never gonna do this again.
Reach.
And it just don't work like that. And if you do try to rush it, you're gonna damage it. Like, just think about a rush job with anything. Anytime you rush, if you putting a desk together and you rushing or whatever, you're gonna miss some things. That thing gonna be fragile and it's gonna fall apart because you was rushing and you skipped some steps. So if you break somebody's trust, you just gotta have it in your mind. I say, nigga, a year. You need at least don't look up for a year.
Really put a time on it.
You can't put a time on it, but get it out your head. My head finna be down for a year, and I'm finna do the right things. And the tough part about that, after a while of you doing the right thing, you gonna feel. I'm gonna find the right word. You gonna feel maybe belittled or like, man, this shit, I ain't finna keep doing it. You gonna feel like you gonna feel silly. Your ego gonna kick in. Thank you. Your ego gonna kick in. And you're going to feel like, hey, I've been telling you where I've been going. I've been showing you my text messages. I've been showing you my DMs. I'm texting you everywhere I go. All of this. It's been 3 months. You supposed to forgive me by now.
Exactly.
And you can't do that.
You absolutely can't do that, man. And I'm going to talk about myself, bro. I want to frame it like this in the physical. Falling in love and trusting somebody not to break your heart is like me giving somebody my gun and trusting them not to shoot me with it. Right? So I give you my gun because I really fuck with you. We've built some type of rapport that make me trust you to give you my gun.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm giving it to you because I think you're going to protect me. I'm giving it to you because I think that I can count on you, that I can rely on you, and this is a safe space. I give you my gun. You turn around and shoot me with the motherfucker. Right? You completely violated my trust. Completely. You lucky if I ever let you come back around me at all.
Yeah.
But you damn sure ain't getting this gun back. Like, not no time soon, if ever.
Yeah.
That's what you do. That's what happened when you break somebody's heart. I've done that to where I've had a woman who thinks the fucking world of me. It's one thing to cheat on somebody. It's another thing to cheat on a girl who thinks the world of you.
Yeah.
Right? Cheat on her, break her heart. She let me back in her space, give me like somewhat of a second chance and say like, all right, I'm down to figure it out with you. And I think I'm like, well, damn, it's been this long. You still bring this shit up. You still mad about this? Or you still acting this way at different times? Da, da, da. And it's just like the audacity and the ego. Like, I really be looking back on some shit I used to be on like, bro, what the fuck was you on? Like, what the fuck was you thinking, right? You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of times we just don't understand the depths of the things that we do. Like when I don't know, it's like cheating is like a boys club.
What you mean by that?
Cheating is like a boys club in a sense that, and I'm not saying women cheat too, obviously, but I'm saying it's a boys club in a sense that everything in this culture is acceptable. Everything in this culture is wrong, but it's acceptable, so we all do it. So for example, let's say we all work at a small family-owned restaurant, right? And every night, we all steal $20 out the register. Everybody on the crew know we do this shit. Everybody down with it. It's cool. Motherfuckers know it's wrong, but motherfuckers could easily justify like, hey, look, nigga, we making $20,000 a day. They paying us $15 an hour. After taxes, nigga, we done made $100 for the day. We like, motherfucker give us this 20. They really underpaying us. All right, cool. Fuck it, you right. Let's do it. Woo, woo. A new nigga come. He get hired. He call the shit out. Hey, bro, that shit wrong. That shit bogus as hell. The first thing motherfuckers gonna do is label him to take the credibility away from what he's saying because they can't rationalize against him because they know they're wrong, and then they're gonna try to exile him because of that label. Oh, you clown ass nigga, man. This nigga a clown. He a snitch. He gonna fuck the whole shit up, man. Get his ass the fuck out of here. Now everybody don't trust him. They don't play with him, right? They don't want to fuck with him. Same way, if a lot of men are cheating, and with that shit, a nigga come and say like, hey, bro, that shit wrong. That shit bogus. This nigga pandering. This simp ass nigga. Yeah. Get him the fuck out of here. Woo, woo. So it's like you can't logically tell me that shit is cool, right? And I'm not saying because nigga, I'm supposed to have multiple women, bro. I never said you couldn't have multiple women.
Yeah.
I said cheating is foul. Go get you a bitch who cool with it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Go get you a chick who fuck with it. And that's a whole different thing because, bro, I've done it. Like when you sneaking around the crib, faking like you taking the shit so you can text a bitch and all this other shit, you don't feel like a man when you doing that shit.
Yeah.
Like all that sneaky shit, and then especially when your girl really fuck with you, she in here cooking for you. Mm-hmm. She in here like, you know what I'm saying? You and this bitch faking like you taking a shower so you could text a bitch. Like it's like you don't feel like no man when you doing that shit, G. You don't.
There's some real world advice. My cousin, one of my little cousins called me. And he like, hey, cuz, man, I think I got a problem, man. Yeah. He like, you the only person I can talk to. Because all the other cousins, all them niggas the same.
Yeah.
But
shout out to
my cousins. I'm gonna just say that. Shout out to my cousins. But nah, he like, man, I think I got a problem. I'm like, what's up? He say, the type of women I like, man. Like, I don't know what it is, but I was listening to Project Bitch. And I just love hood bitches. Ooh,
That's my favorite song.
So we laughing and shit. Well, I actually thought of you. I'm like, this nigga had the Terry syndrome. But he not. So we laughing or whatever. And he was basically saying, you know, that's his thing or whatever. Mind you, he has a girlfriend.
Mm-hmm. And she hood.
She hood. Yeah, she hood. And then he brought up how like the type of women you talk to, he like they be good looking, you know what I'm saying? They got their shit together, blah blah blah, whatever. But like I just like what I like or whatever. So I'm like, okay, like nigga, what is you getting at? You in a whole relationship, you've been in a relationship for years, or whatnot. So he says that he found somebody that he like and he fucking with, and I like it. He's fucking with her. Yeah. And he been in a relationship, he got kids or whatever. So I already knew where the conversation was going. And in mine, like I'm like, you're a grown man. And you're already doing what you're doing. Mm-hmm. But let me paint the picture for you. I'm like, okay, if you're going to do this, your first prerogative, you don't get caught. Right. Like, niggas is sloppy. Yeah. Like, I know you. I know you not. How you communicating with this girl? He said, off my phone. I'm like, you caught. Yeah. You're right there. Yeah. Like, what you doing? But I'm not coaching him to get away with it. Right. But I'm just being realistic, but that's a grown man. Yeah. So what I put in perspective, I'm like, okay, if you do get caught, you're going to break her trust. Yeah. And depending upon how she react, you stepping out for that little shit, that's gonna alter the structure in your life. Cause like y'all live together, you got a system, Just think about it like this: you get caught, trust is broken, y'all separate. Now you trying to find, you calling around for family members, see who gonna watch the kids while you go to work on the days you got them, and I started laying it all out. He like, damn,
Your kids don't get to grow up in a 2-parent household because you want to get some pussy.
yeah.
I think about that shit all the time.
Yeah, you're a victim. Well, you're not a victim of that, but
I'm not a victim, no.
yeah, you're the culprit.
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Nah, I'm happy with my shit. But no, but yeah, I just gave him that advice, and when you break that trust, it's gonna shift everything, and your house is never gonna be the same. I ain't gonna say never gonna be the same. It's gonna take a long ass time. The energy in your house, the love that was once in your house. You come home and you feel the release. Now you come home and it's, you know what I'm saying, it's tension there. Yeah. And especially when y'all live together.
Absolutely.
It's tough, man.
Absolutely. I want to talk about the emotional safety part of trust in a situation I experienced. The girl I was dating kind of recently. And it was emotional safety was the reason why I couldn't fuck with the situation the way I wanted to and the way that I was. And basically, we talked about it in the Patreon, but there was patterns of like I did something that she didn't like. It wasn't directed towards her. It wasn't something I was conscious of that I was doing. It was just behavior that I had that she just didn't like. You know what I'm saying? And instead of just saying like, hey, I don't like when you do that, or I wanted you to handle this situation a little differently, she would act like everything is fine. And then she would do something to get back at me, but it would be very direct and very like in my face. And then when I confront her about it, just like, oh, I did this because you did that. Yeah. It's just like, I didn't even know that I did that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So after I saw that pattern and it happened 4 times, it was like, I don't feel emotionally safe here. Like, I don't feel like I can catch feelings. Like, I like you already, but we was going into the phase to where I would have caught real feelings and going towards being in love and that type of shit and really being open and vulnerable to you. And it's just like, we're at a dead end, right? And I can't even allow myself to go that far because I know if I fall in love with you and you do this shit, you gonna fuck my whole situation. I'm gonna be around this bitch sick. And I got too much shit to do to be, you know what I'm saying, to be around this motherfucker sick. And it's like, that could happen in a relationship with anybody, but I'm not going to sign up for it. Because I feel like when you know it already and you continue to move forward, you signed up for that. You can't even be mad at the person. That's how I feel. So, and the thing was, you know, when it came to trying to rebuild that trust, there was impatience in a sense that, like, oh, I basically was like, my stance on it was like, hey, listen, man, I value you as a person. I like how much we help each other when it comes to our careers. I like, you know, how much I'm cool with your family and they got certain aspirations that I can help them with and things like that. And I see a lot of value in you outside of romance. Like I actually can see you as like somebody I have a friendship with. Not saying that I just want to be friends, but we can focus on that part while you work on this habit that you have of like trying to attack me when I do something that I'm unconscious of that's not even directed towards you. You know what I'm saying? And basically her response to that was like, okay, cool. But then 2 weeks is like, so we just gonna keep dragging this out or whatever, because you know, if you're gonna not fuck with me, then you can just tell me right now instead of dragging this shit out. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then it eventually just got to the point where she like, you know what? I don't want to do this no more. I'm on some like, I want no contact. I'm not trying to be your friend. Da, da, da. And to me, that was very immature, and it showed like a lack of empathy, because you're basically saying that like, even though I know I fucked up and I know I did these things wrong, if I ain't getting what I want, I'm out of here. If I can get what I want when I want, I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying? And that it kind of like solidified that you're not somebody I dodged the bullet. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like those people who don't care about you in the friendship space, those women who you date that don't care about you in the friendship space, it's not as romantic what you can do for them romantically, but just you as a person alone. You marry somebody like that, when it's time to get divorced, those are the people who try to make your life hell because they don't give a fuck what happened to you. Yeah, you're not their man no more. I don't care where you end up. I don't care. I'm trying to get what's best for me out this situation. I don't care how it makes you end up. You're not my nigga no more. That's your business. For sure. I think those type of messy divorces happen. This is just my opinion. Yeah. I think that messy shit happens when people really don't care about you as a person. If somebody really give a fuck about you as a person, all right, this shit didn't work out, but it's gonna be amicable every time.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Well, no matter what happened in a situation.
And me now, first of all, I'm gonna just say me now. I'm so cold because I learned from a lot of mistakes or whatever. Yeah. So with my last situation, my last relationship, I knew how important building trust is, and in the door, I knew not to do certain things. I just know a lot of shit that I've, from my dating experiences or whatnot. Yeah. So even though like right now, obviously we're not together or anything, but she cares about me as a person still. You know what I'm saying? She still, tries to show up for me in certain ways or whatnot. But along the path of us dating, I was just building little blocks of trust. You know what I'm saying? I'm keeping my word. I'm consistent. You know what I'm saying? That's basically it, keeping my word and consistent. And so over time, because in the beginning, it's like, she was very upfront. She's like, hey, this shit sound good, nigga. Like you talk real good or whatever. But it had got to a point, you could never like pinpoint it, but it got to a point where she didn't question anything I said. Yeah. Like whatever I said, she could take that to the bank or whatever the case may be. And then we had hit a point where some outside noise came in and it questioned, the trust and all of that type of shit. And then I just had to remind her, like, yo, when have I showed you anything different? Yeah. And then she thought about it. I've never showed you anything different outside of everything I've showed you, or everything I told you about me and who I am. I've shown you that and have never deviated from it. Mm-hmm. So she reflected and like, you know what, cool. Cause I'm definitely not gonna let somebody on the outside break trust in what I got going on. Mm-hmm. But you can control that in a positive way. So the way you build that trust strategically, not even strategically, just be a man of your word and be consistent.
Yeah. It's a clip. I think also fake accountability.
Fake accountability.
That's also a barrier when you've hurt someone and you're trying to rebuild that trust and you're trying to regain their trust. One of the things that block people a lot is fake accountability, in a sense that you having a conversation and during the conversation.
Hey, Jody.
What's up? I didn't know who she was at first. What time we at? I clipped that. 42? All right. You having a conversation about the things that went wrong in a relationship, the things that person did wrong, right? The culprit. Let's say the culprit did something wrong. And during the conversation, they like, I get you 1,000%. Like, I'm wrong. I take full accountability, But then they still trying to rush you to get to a point where, the trust is rebuilt. They still trying to rush you back into a vulnerable space. When y'all have a separate conversation, they get irritated about it. It's just like, oh my God, you still trying to act like And it's just like the accountability is fake. It's not real. Like when we having a conversation about like how you hurt me in real time, you're so apologetic. You're so accountable. Yeah. But when we outside of that space, your actions do not match that shit at all.
And it's fucked up. But a lot of times when it's like that, when somebody is showing fake accountability, I'm gonna just say the guy, he's doing it to shut you up. He don't want to hear that right now. It could be uncomfortable hearing the truth. I don't want to face how I just violated your trust. I don't want to face how I just disappointed you or how hurt you are. It hurts. It do hurt. Yeah. Even though I did it on whatever. I don't know if he did it on purpose or not, but it hurts. So to get this over with, I'm sorry. You know what? It's on me. Blah blah. And you shut it down. Yeah. But like you said,
I absolutely think that's true. And I think another part of it is that the guy, he might actually think in the moment the vulnerability is completely authentic. He might, because he actually does feel remorseful. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. He actually thinks that the accountability is authentic because he feels remorseful. But just because you feel remorseful doesn't mean that you're actually accountable. And sometimes that accountability takes maturity and processing and time to build up. So it's not going to be a thing all the time where you did something, you fucked up, they found out, and when they confront you about it, you're immediately like, you know what, you're right, I take full accountability. Like, no, that shit takes time for you to really sit and realize, like, nah, I was bogus as hell. You don't even really feel like you just did this shit, bro. You don't feel that wrong about it. You just mad that you got caught. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of that accountability, it takes like a little bit of character development for you to even truly be authentically accountable for that.
Emotional manipulation. One of the worst things you can do in that situation is when you feel like a certain amount of time has passed and you feel like you should be forgiven, and then you, man, fuck this shit. Then if you gonna forgive me. Like, don't bring it up no more.
Yeah.
And usually that'll happen early in the rebuilding phase because you feel however you feel. And then now the victim, they still love you because obviously they trying to work it out. But now you're not respecting that quote unquote grieving process. You're not respecting that process to whereas you're rushing it. Like, she thinking, I don't want to lose him. I'm still hurt about this shit. And sometimes I might want to talk about this shit. Like, we could be having a good day. Everything could be quote unquote smooth. But I get triggered and I want to have a discussion. And then you lash out like, you know what I'm saying? You tripping, ooh, you gonna forgive me or not? So when you do that, you shutting out how she feels, and now she just gotta be silent and sit in that, that pain or that hurt.
Absolutely.
In the sake of not losing you, even though you're wrong. So you just manipulated that whole situation to kind of work in your favor, and
you probably
fucked up.
Yeah, and if you really didn't do the processing and the character development to be truly accountable, once you get her back where you want her, you probably gonna slip back into those same behaviors. I think that when you're remorseful because you got caught doing something wrong in that moment, you forget everything about your girl that annoyed you. You forget everything about your girl that she was doing wrong. Because it's, you might be just a dirtbag ass nigga who was going to cheat regardless, but it also might be your girl wasn't affectionate enough. Your girl want this, your girl want that. And a lot of times we don't even know why we cheat because we don't tap into our emotions and process them enough to even understand why we doing what we doing. Because it's always emotional. It might be emotional from some shit you had going on before you met this girl. It might be some internal shit. Or it could be a way that she's making you feel that you're not processing enough to even realize it in the moment. But regardless of the fact, when you do something wrong and you get caught, you feel so remorseful that you forget all of the little things that you had an issue with that you may have never expressed, right? So in that moment, you want to be the best guy possible. Once you get her back where you want her and she annoying again and she's not affectionate again, you gonna go cheat again, bro. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? You never did the work. You finna go right back and do the same shit that you did again. And you gonna feel justified in doing it because she's still doing all the same shit she was doing.
That's fucked up.
It's a cycle. I've done it. I've done this shit a lot of times. Like, maybe I'm just speaking for myself right now. Maybe I'm projecting on y'all niggas.
Nah, niggas relating.
Learning new triggers. That's tough.
Learning new triggers?
Yes. When you hurt somebody and they allow you back into their space and you're trying to rebuild the trust that they have for you, they're going to have some new triggers. They're not going to be the same. It's going to be things that hurt them that they didn't give a fuck about before, right? They might not want you going out with your homies no more. That, like, you got caught cheating when you was with May. I don't want to see that nigga face ever. He can't even come over no more.
Facts.
Like, May ain't did shit. Nah, he brought them bitches around. I know you don't get hoes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Damn.
like, for real though.
Yeah.
So she gonna have new triggers. There's gonna be new things that she not fucking with. It's gonna be hard to be patient with that too. You're gonna have to really learn and accept that, like, bro, you created these triggers, bro.
Nigga.
Like, you fucked her up in this way. You gotta be patient with that too.
What if she had like a little booty and then she found out you cheated on her with a girl with a big booty, and she just, y'all cool, y'all scrolling Instagram and she come across a big booty girl page and she see your picture that you liked it, boom, trigger.
Yeah.
It just reminded her the big booty bitch you cheated on her with.
New story of my life. This is a real life thing for me.
Damn.
This is a real life thing for me. Like, so a woman I dated, she's a gorgeous woman. She just don't have an ass.
Yeah.
And the girls that I cheated with, other girls that she's known me the day after her, and went through my phone and seen me fucking a bunch of girls, and they was all thinking, even just when we dated when we was younger too. So I'm screenshotting Bernice Burgos with a fat old ass. That's all through the phone. It's just fat asses. It's a fat ass gallery, and she don't got one. So of course she like, oh, nigga, like, yeah, no. Then it got to the point. We talked about this earlier. she to this day, she's like, nigga, I don't believe that you like me. I don't believe that you liked me even back then. Like, I think that you was talking to me for whatever reason talking to me, but I know what you like.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, no, you're right. I do like asses.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I liked you so much that I was cool with you not having an ass. Like, I like you more than all these hoes. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh man,
it was crazy.
That's funny. I meant to send you. I meant to show you that I was messaging somebody, and she would call that shit out all the time. She like, nigga, I'm not your type. Like she was cold. She's beautiful. She's like, she's the type where any man wants her in any room. Like, she just has that type of face. Like, she's just beautiful for real. And she's seen all the women that I talk to. And she like, nigga, I'm not your type. You like short, brown skinned women with short hair with fat asses. I am the opposite of that. Yep. I'm like, that is not me. But I'm like, that's true, but I still like you.
Yeah, it just, love conquers all. Y'all know what I say.
Oh, man.
So yeah, new triggers, man. It's gonna be a bunch of them, and they're gonna come from left and right. And a lot of times she's not gonna know how to express like, hey, this is something new I'm dealing with because of what you did. She just gonna react and be like, nigga, I don't like that. And you gonna be like, since when?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. It's gonna be new as hell.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just being patient and kind of stepping back and having that bird's eye view. And I think that's hard to do with emotions too, is to, when a woman is saying something, it's like, what is she really saying?
Yeah, it's always a code.
It's a code for something else.
Code.
It's something deeper. You know what I'm saying? The book, The Way of the Superior Man, they talk about how, you know, your girl is constantly, you said you was going to clean out the garage. You're not cleaning out the garage. It's been a month since you said it. And she come in one day and she go the fuck off about you cleaning out the garage. And you like, you don't even go in the garage. What the fuck is you talking about?
Yeah.
And it's really about like you just not keeping your word, and she watching you watch football every Sunday. And that's really the root of what it is. But she don't even know how to express it. Like, she not even realizing like, I don't like him right now because he's not keeping his word. She's not thinking of it in that literal of a context. She just like, this nigga told me he was gonna do this, and he just sitting on his ass every weekend not doing it.
Yeah.
And I don't like it.
Women are, so in that sense, women are always analyzing the men that they have chosen to lead, protect, and provide for.
Yeah.
And you're not thinking about it that deep. A lot of guys, this usually happens after you get comfortable, right? After you get comfortable, you probably not as disciplined no more. You probably went off your schedule, like how we got our schedules, 5 a.m, this, that, blah, blah. A lot of guys, and I fell into that too. Like you be so in the love phase or whatever, you start to slack. They notice that shit, and that's gonna translate, because how you do anything is how you do everything. Like, you skipping out on things that you like and you said you was gonna do, or the gym, or like a hobby, or just responsibilities. Because as you intertwine lives, she know what you got going on. She know that you're supposed to call and figure out your taxes. She know that you got to go figure this out or whatever. You're not even thinking of it. You putting it off, but she know you got all these responsibilities that you're putting off to the side. She's keeping a log of that shit. Like, I cannot trust this nigga. And over time, nigga, she's losing attraction for you while this is happening. Yep. You don't even know this is going on, because you think you're doing the basic shit, oh, cool, whatever. You don't see the decline in your productivity, the decline in your drive, your ambition. Like, because you think it's just smooth sailings, but you're slowly losing the characteristics that attracted her to you.
Yeah. I honestly don't even think that I think it might be even kind of subconscious for her. You know what I'm saying? Like, I literally think that
they're just wired like that to notice it.
Yeah. And what I mean by that is this, like, right? I wake up at 5 a.m. all the time. A lot of women like that. It's like, oh, you serious? You about your business? Da, da, da. They like the idea of it. And then a chick could come spend the night with me, and we'll fuck to 3 a.m. And I will get up at 5 o'clock and go to my fucking office, and she won't see my face till 7 and be like, nigga, I thought you left the house. Like, where the fuck is you at? You know what I'm saying? And they would still admire that about me. And then let's say we keep talking and I start sleeping in with them. Yeah. The moment I sleep in with them and we fuck, have morning sex, all of that, they enjoy the morning sex. They enjoy me sleeping in. They enjoy the cuddling. So I think it's like the fact that I'm not doing what I got to do, it's cool for a while. But now when I'm start paying the consequences for that, like, oh, damn, I was supposed to do this. I was supposed to send this email. Now I'm running around. My morning's all fucked up. I'm all discombobulated. The attraction is starting to be lost. It's like, oh, he's not the businessman I thought he was. Woo, woo. But she might not even be tying that to the fact that, because she enjoys me staying in bed with a land I'm cutting. So I don't even think that it's like the moment that you do it wrong, they like, boom, got him. I think it's more like over time, it's just like in the back of their mind, it's just like, they just see the change over time. Like, yeah, this nigga ain't what I thought he was. You know what I'm saying?
And I recently, I got I never talk about compliments I get, but I got a compliment from her because she seen me in like some fucked up seasons, like, you know, from the time we first started talking or whatever, you know, everything's sweet or whatever. Yeah. But she also seen me in a season where it was messed up for a long time or whatnot. And she had texted me randomly like, yo, I just want to like, you know, give you your flowers, and you still what you say you are. You know what I'm saying? You still, I haven't seen you moping around. I haven't heard of you, you know what I'm saying? She ain't around me 24/7, but from what she do know and what she can see, I'm still moving as if things didn't go wrong. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's a important quality to have, because that's the only opportunity we got though to really prove that. Like, we can't. What's that? Poise. Yeah, stoicism. Yeah. Poise is stoicism, man. I be real conscious, and I'm still in that season right now, low key. But I be real conscious that, number one, it's a season. And number two, when I'm up, I don't have the opportunity to prove what type of man I am. It don't count when everything is cool. It don't count. I mean, it don't. My good moods and positive attitude. I'm up, money up, this up, all of that. I can't really prove what type of man I am. Like right now, this version in this season, this is the type of man I really am.
For sure. I'm with that 1,000%. Let me see. So some of the trust rebuilders, consistency. Consistency rebuilds trust, man. It's like, it's just patterns. You know, like if you was playing a game, you know how Squid Games, they got the little, like, it's like two lanes, the two panels. But it's like if you step on this piece, the glass breaking, you fall through. If you step on this side, it hold up. So if you see somebody go through and they follow a certain pattern, it's like, okay, that's the pattern. You trust it.
Yeah, yeah.
If somebody else continues to follow that pattern and that breaks, it's like, oh shit, that might not be the pattern. Right? But once you move past that break, if that pattern continues to work again, you're gonna trust it.
Yeah, yeah.
It might have to be a little longer than the last one. Let's say the last one, it was like 3 steps. It's like, okay, that's the pattern. And then it break on the 4th. This next one might have to be 5 for you to trust it again. But eventually you will trust it again if the pattern stays consistent. Okay. And I think it's the same thing with when you're trying to rebuild your trust with somebody. It's gonna take a little longer, because it took a minute to build that consistency the first time when they first met you. But now that you broke the trust, it's gonna take longer. But it's all about consistency. Like, people got trust issues, all of that, but people trust consistency over time for sure.
Yeah, and the only way you're gonna make that is, fellas, we got to remove our ego if you are in that season of rebuilding trust with somebody. Yeah, your ego gonna smoke you, because
absolutely
after a certain amount of time, you gonna start feeling like, man, I ain't doing this shit no more.
Yeah, you're gonna feel like a clown. You're gonna feel like you're doing too much. You're gonna feel like you're chasing all this. It's another chick that like you. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I ain't doing half of this for shorty, and she on my dick, and you do.
That's the consequences.
Yeah,
it is what it is. And sure. I don't think you should. We gonna get. Is we finna transition into that?
Not quite yet.
Okay, go ahead.
That's gonna be the last thing. So now I want to jump into trust for friendships and kids. And I want to get some examples. So rebuilding trust in friendships. Usually friendships, you break the trust by telling a secret, you know, telling your friend business, or it might be something that somebody else asked you to keep a secret from your friend, and your friend looking at you like, nigga, why wouldn't you tell me that? And you kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. Pillow talking, shit like that. Have you ever been on a culprit on that side as far as breaking a friend's trust?
I want to answer truthfully. Give me a second to think. Yes.
Okay.
And I remember vividly. I was in 7th grade. I was in 7th grade, and I remember that nigga name, Leonardo LeBon. I heard that nigga passed away too. Rest in peace to him.
Leo.
Yeah, his name is Leonardo LeBon, and it was a girl in the classroom. I can't remember the exact details or whatever, but I think I did near backdoored him or some shit, or I did something where I took the girl side over his.
You
or
on that
whatever.
Mufasa shit. That's why Scar turned up.
You know what I'm
man.
saying? And I'll never forget, bro was so upset. He called my daddy. G. Matter of fact, he didn't call him. My pop used to pick me up to school, and he must have been outside before me. Yeah. And he went up to my pops and was talking about, like, man, Reggie, ooh, this, and I didn't know.
Yeah.
I get home and my pops, he like, man, come here, man.
Yeah.
He like, what's this I hear about? You know what I'm saying? You took sides with such and such over. I'm like, how you know this? Woo. Right. But he told me, like, nah, like, never. Your friendship with this guy, is this your homie for real? I'm like, yeah. He like, you never want to let a woman come between, you know what I'm saying? Especially, I'm in 7th grade. We ain't talking about wives and nothing like that. Right. So you never want to let a woman come in between your friendship. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because she temporary. She even like the next nigga, whatever the case may be. You just backdoored your homie. She moved on. She don't even like neither one of y'all no more. And now y'all ain't even friends because of what you did or whatever the case may be. Yeah. So I was a culprit on that side before. For sure.
I had a similar situation with if I was being over a girl. It's never always over a girl though. Yeah. Like 90% of the time, right? So I'm dating this girl.
Or money.
Yeah. I'm dating this girl. She works at a high-end clothing store. She has like a lot of rich clients and things like that. One of her clients was an NBA player, right? So she telling me that she got this NBA player as a client, but he a young nigga. He like a rookie. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, cool. I trust this girl though. Like we've known each other for years at this point. We wasn't in a quote unquote committed relationship at the time, but you know, we talk and we got a certain level of trust as far as like, if you say this is what it is type shit. So anyway, she tell me she the NBA player stylist, or he's her client, and I don't really think too much of it. You know what I'm saying? I know that he probably want to shoot. She's a nice looking chick. I'm like, this nigga will shoot at her for sure, but I ain't thinking too much of it. As time go on, she telling me more and more of like kind of details about the basketball team and shit. Like,
yeah.
Oh, they don't need the Bulls don't even practice at the United Center. They practice somewhere else and shit like that. I'm like, how the fuck you know all this shit?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She like, oh, well, he told me. I'm like, okay, y'all talking about a lot of shit other than clothes. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, cool. Nigga, she ended up telling me, I think I told this story before, but she ended up telling me like, you know, she went out to a club and she saw an older guy that looks like him. Mm-hmm. And she was like, I really thought the guy looked like him. When the club let out, I FaceTimed him and was like, hey, is this your father? And he was like, yeah, that's my dad. How you meet my dad? Da-da-da. I'm like, wait, you FaceTimed him after the club. Club get out at 2 a.m. Fuck is going on? So like at that point, I'm like, okay, she's lying. Cause she was telling me like, nah, it ain't nothing going on with the dude. Cause I think I had asked her at some point after one of the stories she told me. And I'm just like, do you talk to this nigga? And she like, nah, it ain't nothing like that. Da-da-da. So I'm like, okay, she fuck with this nigga. But she ended up going on a trip. And she went on a trip and she went and wilded out on the trip. She did whatever she did on the trip. Mm-hmm. And then when she came back, I guess she felt guilty about it. So she was trying to like guilt trip me about talking to a girl who was, you know, about trying to talk to a girl who was friends of a friend. And it was like a year ago when we wasn't even dating. It was like, I'm like, where the fuck is all this shit coming from? This shit is weird. So I'm like, man, you tripping over this shit, but you got a whole nother situation going on with this NBA nigga. And I know you do.
Yeah.
And she wouldn't admit it. And I couldn't get her to admit it, but I really wanted her to admit the shit. Uh-huh. I know one of my homies went to high school with the NBA nigga. Uh-huh. So I'm like, oh, my homie told me. Yeah. I put his name in the shit. On some emotional, mad, we into it, we in the heat of the moment arguing over the shit. I'm like, man, I know you fuck with this nigga. Da, da, da. She like, nah, da, da, da. And in reality, I should have just stopped fucking with her at the time. But on some emotional, mad shit, I had to try to manipulate the situation to get her to admit it. Yeah. I ain't have to, but that's what I chose to do.
That's what you wanted to do.
And I threw my homie name and I'm like, nah, man, my homie, he know the nigga. Like, and she knew that he knew the nigga.
Yeah.
So I'm like, nah, my homie told me. She like, damn. And she came clean. Right?
Heifer.
But she ended up telling one of her friends about the whole situation who know my homie. And of course she went back like, hey, did you tell Terry? Woo, woo, woo? He like, hell no, I ain't tell him that. Da, da, da. So now it's like, it put some tension between me and my homie. It really wasn't, because he didn't give a fuck. Like he like, nigga, I get it. Like I did. Like, you know what I'm saying? He like, nigga, I get it. But before I spoke to him about it, I felt like I knew I was bogus. Like I knew I was wrong. You know what I'm saying? And I went and hollered at him about it. I went and just straight up like, hey bro, I was bogus as hell. I shouldn't put you on the Ooh. And he genuinely didn't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? But I still knew I was bogus, and even though he didn't give a fuck and he never tripped over it, and the relationship never seemed to change, there's no telling how a motherfucker really feel when it comes to like trusting you on certain shit. You know what I'm saying? After some shit like that happens. So that was definitely a misstep I made in trust with a homie, and that shit wasn't that long ago. That shit was maybe like 4 years ago at the most. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna talk about a time somebody violated my trust. A homie of mine.
Yeah.
I think I told you the story before. Violated my trust, and this was the first time to where I'm like, damn, like this was my man's. Like I want us to be cool.
Yeah.
But it's certain things you do when you break somebody's trust. No matter how much it just can't be rebuilt because for whatever reason that was. So at the time, this was back in I think this was back in high school. Yeah, we were still in high school at the time, I think. Yeah. So we in high school, and I'm cracking cards and shit. So I'm gonna get some Patreon. This scam rate.
Doug Jones.
Look, y'all know me as Pastor Jones. But nah, so I'm cracking cards and shit, and one of my moves came through. My moves popped on, but I call myself. I'm having motion and shit. I'm like, man, I don't feel like going to go get the bread. It was all the way out west, so I hit up one of the guys. I'm like, hey, go pick up this. I think it was like 2000. I think it was a TCF. Y'all remember how TCF used to be that quick 2 minutes, whatever. But so I'm like, go pick up the bread for me. I'm gonna hit you with something on the way back. So he like, I bet, cool. So boom, he go out west. I'm not thinking this is my man's.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking twice. I'm not thinking this. I'm not thinking anything. I forgot. He hit me up. He like, man, bro, where you at? I'm like, I'm at the crib. He like, hey, pull up on me. So go to the hood, pull up on him, and he like, man, motherfucker robbed me. I'm like, damn, you good? It's still not clicking. I'm like, you good, bro? Cause this my man's. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you good? He like, yeah, man. Motherfucker uphold, shot at me. Ooh, I'm like, damn, bro. I'm not thinking about the bread.
Right.
I was already up because some other moves had popped on. I didn't give a fuck about that. I'm like, is my boy okay?
Right.
And I ain't think shit of it. Whatever, cool. It's over with. I'll get another one. I think I found out maybe like a year later or 2 years later or some shit. It was some time had went by that he staged the whole thing.
Right.
Like the nigga, the story he told me was he was out west and he was on his way back, but he like, I knew I shouldn't have stopped at that store. He stopped at the store, he get out the car, it was some niggas in front of the store. He walked past him, he go in the corner store, get what he needed, come back out, and then they ran up on him and all of that. I'm like, damn, bro, you tweak, you already, like, nigga, we from over east. What the fuck? You just come straight back to the crib or whatever. So I found out that none of that happened. He shot his own car seat.
Yeah.
And to validate the story or whatever. And then when I found out about it, so much time had passed anyway, I really didn't care. But it was like, fuck, like damn.
Yeah.
Like, bro, is you for real? Like you my right hand homie. Like if you told me you needed some bread, nigga, you could have it.
That's crazy. For the right hand homie, that's super crazy.
That was my nigga.
That's super
and he apologized for it. He, you know what I'm saying? He definitely good dude and all of that. But I'm like, we could never be cool like that for real. We could never be like we cool, but how it was, like hanging out and all of this and all of that, the trust. Like nigga, you shot your own car seat.
Yeah.
I don't know what you would do.
Yeah.
I still love you, but I can't trust you.
Absolutely. And we already went over I think the rules around rebuilding trust is the same. Like with friendships, relationships, kids, all that, it's the same. You know what I'm saying? So we already went over that. I want to go into rebuilding trust with your kids or losing the trust of your kids. Mm-hmm. When it comes to that, I think that one is a little bit more sensitive than all of them, in my opinion. And I believe when it comes to that, it's pretty much broken promises and inconsistent behavior. I know women who are, we always paint the picture of like, oh, it's a lot of single moms who don't want they it's a lot of single moms who don't want their kid to see the father. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're keeping the father away. The fathers want to be there, but they're not. And there's some niggas who don't want to be there. And there's some niggas who do. It's a lot of niggas who do. And it's some men who are being kept away. So we're not gonna act like that's not a thing. It's some kids who want to go live with their daddy, but mama don't want to lose child support, so she she forcing and shit like that. That exists. But there are also men who try to see their kids, break a bunch of promises to the point where it's fucking up the kid, and the mom say, you know what, nigga, just stay the fuck away. Yeah. So there, some of those moms who don't want they son or they daughter around their father is because of it gets so inconsistent that they just like, all right, just fall back because you fucking the kid up now. They looking out the window waiting on you. You ain't showing up. You breaking all these promises and shit like that. I was watching the movie Liar Liar with Jim Carrey. Yeah. That shit was about. I think that when it comes to that, and the inconsistent behavior could be something of the sort of just switching up on your kid, acting different. Like I always say, performative discipline, right? Performative discipline is something my mom used to do. My mom would never whoop me if it was just me and her, or if I was at home, me, her, and my dad, right? I could do something bad, break some shit, some terrible shit. My mama wouldn't whoop me. She'd yell at me. She'd put me on punishment. She wouldn't whoop me. I could do something slight in front of the public. She's smacking the shit out of me in front of everybody. She whooped me in front of everybody. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it would be only when we around people was like, this is about embarrassment. It's not about punishment. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you never discipline me when people aren't around. Like it's some shit you wouldn't even say nothing about. We get in front of my cousins, my grandma. It's like you want to put on this persona that you, this person and your kid know better because you don't play that shit. Da 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 da. But it's like some of the shit that I'm doing is because you do play that shit. Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't be tripping. And now it's like this switch up, and now you just embarrass the fuck out of me in front of everybody over something small. You confused. When like I'm at home doing big shit. So that's a form of that inconsistent behavior that will break a kid trust. It's like, gee, I can't fuck with you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I've never I ain't experienced that, and I make sure I just whatever I tell Trey, I keep my promise. I'm the same anyway, nigga. He know I don't play that shit at all, and alone in front of people, whatever the case may be. So very consistent in that area. I'm consistent in if I tell you we're gonna do something, we're gonna do something. Yeah. I've never. He's never experienced me standing him up or not showing up or anything like that. And a large part of that because I don't even know how to do that. My daddy didn't do that. Yeah. Like, it's not even a thing. It's not even a behavior that I have to get past. Like I'm programmed to show up. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So, but I definitely know kids in situations where they don't know. Yeah. Like is daddy gonna show up? Is mommy gonna show up?
I will say this though, because there's been times you done pissed me off with Trey. For real. What happened? Like Halloween, I'm like, he like, yeah, I can't record today. I gotta take Trey trick or treat. I'm like, nigga, you ain't know it was Halloween on Thursday. The whole fucking, you know what I'm saying? But on the same time, on the father side, it's like, even though I have these other obligations, like I'm putting my kid before all this shit. Like, oh yeah, we gotta do this, we gotta do that. But
and it could be the silliest shit. It could be but if I told him I'm gonna do it, everybody else gotta get smoked.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So from the father standpoint, I could respect it, but yeah, it be blowing me sometimes. I ain't gonna lie.
Nigga, be here in the morning so we can shoot.
On the flip side of that, man, I remember we did the Forgive Your Parents episode, and I was talking about the situation with my father with the girl. I had a girl over, and he told me it's cool. Don't let your mom find out. My mom found out. She go the fuck off. He get the Oscar performance of like cussing me out in front of my mama, acting like he didn't know. Go back in the room with her. What the fuck wrong with him? Ooh, come back in the room with me like, oh nigga, I told you not to do that. And everybody like, the internet was doing whatever they wanted to do with it. And a lot of people was like, oh nigga, you take accountability. You would have done it. I think the thing that people missed in that, and maybe I didn't give it enough context, is like it wasn't about the girl. Yeah. It wasn't about my mom catching me. It was about the relationship I thought me and my father had. And that was based on us making a bunch of homeboy agreements. Mm-hmm. And it was also based on the dynamic of like me and my mom always having a strained relationship and me being an only child. So you get your ass whooped at home, you go to your sister's to your siblings to emotionally regulate to mama tripping, woo woo, they got your back, y'all talking shit about y'all mama together. Yeah. I jumped in the car with my father and talked shit. We talked shit about my mama together. Me and my dad was talking shit about my mama together because I didn't have siblings, right? So it's almost like you my homie, and he kind of shield me from my mama because a lot of the bullshit she'd be on, it's kind of like he got me though. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He got my back. So he was like my best friend. And he made it that way. You know what I'm saying? He made these homies, oh, it's cool, don't let your mama find out. We gonna go do this together, da da da. So it's like we homies type shit. Yeah. And as I got older, every time some shit hit the fan, we all of a sudden wasn't homies no more. You know what I'm saying? So that's what was really hard for me in that story, and I feel like people didn't get the nuance or context to that, and they kind of just thought it was about a girl.
And I don't like the men. It was a lot of men. Nigga, you take up it's wifey side. You know what I'm saying? Wife get priority, and out of respect for like your father, I kept certain words. Like in my perspective, let's just say if that was me and Trey, I could be me, Trey, his mom. We could be married. If me and Trey created a bond, or I, gave him the okay or anything, let's just say the exact same situation. If I was the daddy and I gave you the okay, cool. You get caught, I'm taking the heat. I'll deal with your mom. No, hold up. I told him he could do that. Now me and my wife is gonna have that conversation. I'll deal with whatever I got to deal with her, but I'm not about to throw you under the bus. I'm not doing that shit. And I think a man is a simp if you do that. Or do I want to say simp, or it's a word. I can't think of it right now. But
bro, it's crazy how many men was like, yeah, he tweaking. You gotta roll with your wife. It's
nigga, no, not if I told my son, my child, that you can do it. Cool. What you think I'm scared of my wife or something? Respectfully, I'll deal with the consequences. And a lot of people, they probably don't even have them type of bonds with their kids. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like it's been times where Trey's mom, he did something, or whatever the case may be, and they had a little bond, and I'm finna get on his ass, and she'll come to me like, yo, hold up. Yeah. Like, just squash that one. That's on me. Ooh. Yeah. Cool. And vice versa.
And the other thing is that, like, not only do we have this homeboy agreement that we made on some buddy shit, and you when the shit hit the fan, you kind of left me hanging. Yeah. When you cussing me out, you don't even talk to me like this. Like, you never talk to me like a motherfucker. Bro, I'm lost. I'm like, what the fuck is happening right now? Like, you don't even talk to me like that, bro. Like, this is not the nigga I know at all. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, when niggas, like, that whole conversation, I feel like was just taken out of context. But again, it go back to that inconsistency in behavior that just completely break the trust. It's just like, bro, I don't believe nothing you talking about now. All that homie shit and all you cool of da-da-da-da. And again, it was the same thing with the other story I told. My OG kicked me out. My father before that told me, like, nigga, you can stay here as long as you got a job, as long as you working. You can stay here. I was 17. He was like, nigga, I ain't moving out of my mama's house. I was 24. You know what I'm saying? So as long as you got a job, you working, you good. You ain't got nothing to worry about. But when my OG kicked me out and I came and told him, he like, shit, it is what it is. Like, again, like we making these agreements, and when shit hit the fan, you leaving me hanging every time. You know what I'm saying?
That ain't cool.
Yeah. And it's like, I think that the long-term effect of breaking your kid trust is them having to grow up too fast. Because now they can't trust you to be there or be who you supposed to be. So now they got to be who they need. You know what I'm saying? They got to be the person that they need. And if they become that person before that trust get rebuilt, I don't think that their relationship is ever going to be the same. Because it's like, you didn't kind of complete your job of raising me the way that you should have. Like, we didn't get to that point of where, like, you took the training wheels off and I just had to go. It was kind of like, you left me outside with the bike by myself and I had to figure it out. And you coming back like, oh, we did it. It's like, nigga, fuck you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, watch out. Like, no, we didn't do it. Like,
right.
You know
I did this shit.
I did this shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I don't really want the coaching and the lectures and all that shit no more. It's kind of like, we cool, but all that parental, like, I could come to you, you could lecture me about, I'm not trying to hear shit you talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can't. Yeah. And the guys who was remaking them videos, I'm not respect. And I hope I'm saying this in whoever my future wife is going to be. Yeah. Like, respectfully. Like, I'm not tucking my tail for you. I'm not showing face for you. Yeah. Like, not in that way. Right. Like, no, I'm okay. I'll take the heat for this. Like, I just can't relate to that one.
Why can't, okay, so when trust can't be rebuilt, That's what I wanted to finish off with. And that's kind of what we've been kind of leaning towards, but not saying. You want to go off with that?
So when trust can't be rebuilt, number one, hopefully your ego isn't involved, so you don't feel like it can't be rebuilt prematurely. But after a certain amount of time, I do feel like, you know, if somebody isn't willing to let it go, that's cool. I respect how you feel, but I don't want to suffer anymore. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I especially if you've been patient and you ain't been giving flack and you ain't been emotionally manipulating. If you stayed the course and you've been consistent and you are this changed person, and she can't point to any other time you've broken trust except the initial action, and all this time go by, you can walk away.
Yeah. I don't think there's no point where you can't walk away, honestly. Like, as soon as it happens, if you feel like, I know I'm not built to go through that. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, now we just trying to ride this shit to the real. We're going to hurt each other more. So as soon as you cheat on your girl, as soon as you, now with your kids, that's different. But so I would keep it on the girl. As soon as you cheat on your girl, she find out everything blow the fuck up. You don't have to try to fix it. You're not obligated to try to fix it. You don't have to. You can say, you know what? I wasn't ready for this relationship. I'm still not ready for this relationship. I'm not ready to go through what it's going to take to, because it's going to take more work to rebuild the trust than it did to be in a fucking relationship. And I wasn't even ready for that shit. Yeah. So it's a good chance that this kind of doesn't need to work regardless. Yeah. So I don't think there's any time where you can't walk away. Now, if you really genuinely made a mistake and your better judgment, this is not who you are, this is not reflective of who you are and where you are, this is just a mistake you made. We all fall short of glory. I think that's when you stay to rebuild the trust. The point to where it can't be rebuilt, I feel like, is when you're fighting alone. Like when she's not working with you, right? And I'm not saying she got to meet you halfway. She might go 5% of the way. That might be all she got for you right now. And I think you got to know the difference between when you're fighting alone versus, it's a big difference between when you're fighting alone versus when she's trying, but she can't give a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might feel like you fighting alone because she's saying like, hey, I just need some space right now. No, that's her. That might be her actively trying to make the relationship continue. Like her needing space. Like, for instance, when I just gave the example of the last girl I dated, me saying that like, hey, I just want to be cool is me kind of saying I need some space from that romantic shit. Yeah. We can still talk. We can still chop it up every day, but all that romantic shit, I'm not really on that right now. She could turn and look at that like, oh, this nigga just don't want to be here. And that's basically what she did. It's like, oh, this nigga don't want to be here. He's stringing me along. He don't want to fuck with me no more. It's not, no. Again, sometimes we feel like boundaries, the way they sound, they're made to keep people away when they're really made to keep people close. It's just like, if you're going to stay close, these are the rules. This is what's going to make me comfortable with you staying close. But if you can't follow these rules and stay to keep me comfortable, now you got to go. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you might feel like your girl not fighting with you, but she really is. Sometimes that look like space. Sometimes that look like her taking a step back so she could kind of just heal without you being in her face. She probably resents you right now, and she don't want to be around you because she resents you. You giving her that space can do a ton of help. Now, it's a difference between that and her just not. She just like, nigga, I don't got shit for you. Yeah. And that's the difference between I think the first time we ever podcast together, we did an episode talking about second chances versus forgiveness. Damn. That was like 2020 or some shit. And 2021, I think. And that, I think you got to know the difference between, is she actually trying to forgive, or is she just giving you a second chance, meaning that she's letting you come around and she's never gonna, you know what I'm saying? So stick it out, stay around, respect the boundaries, but try to have the discernment to see, like, is she really done fighting for this shit? And that's when you should stop.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So you got AMP, or we going behind the Patreon wall right now?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
I'm following your ex on social media. I seen some people say it's petty. Some people say like it's warranted. And this is my take on it. I feel like it's not petty if you need to unfollow the person that you was talking to, not just to be petty, but to heal, because sometimes out of sight is out of mind. if you seeing this person on your timeline triggers you, even if it wasn't like a nasty breakup, but if that's gonna delay the healing process, you constantly seeing this person, you constantly seeing their life, especially if they moving on and they happy and all of this type of stuff, and you need to unfollow just to kind of get them off of your radar, out of your mental. That's cool. That's not. I don't look at that as you petty or you immature, whatever the case may be. Sometimes you just need to get a motherfucker out of your sight. You know what I'm saying? It'll just help you heal. Now, that's actually the only reason I could think of that I would probably unfollow somebody is I've muted some motherfuckers before though.
I got a ton of motherfuckers on mute.
Yeah, I don't want to see that.
Yeah,
but unfollowing it depends. You know what I'm saying? So, because women to look at it like, are you butthurt? Why you this and that?
How they looking at it? Like they do the shit all the time.
Yeah.
Right. I think that I call that unnecessary strength, and it's crazy because that's what I want the next episode to be about.
Unnecessary strength.
Basically, there's a lot of things that we do as men to uphold our masculinity that is really hurting us, and it's very unnecessary. We be trying to be strong in a lot of ways that's like very, very unnecessary. And I think that's one of them. And I'll admit this, and we're going to talk about it next week. I'll admit this, like sometimes comments bother me, right? Yeah. Some comments bother me. It just be like, and it depends. It's kind of be like, probably if I post something that's personal or if a motherfucker like coming at it a certain way or like accusatory or certain, like, who the fuck is you talking to, right? And I didn't talk to 7 a.m. the poet. Like he didn't make comments about it. It meant other people would been like, bro, just delete the comments. Just block the person. I'm like, man, what the fuck I look like blocking somebody? What the fuck I look like deleting a comment? That shit ain't that shit. Cause I'm so strong that it's like
a comment don't bother me.
It ain't no comment. It don't. But it's like, nigga, no, that shit is bothering you, and you probably should clear that negative shit out your space. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. You probably should protect your peace. But you so strong that you letting this shit fuck with you and not protecting your own peace. It's dumb. Yeah, like the shit gets dumb. And I think that we do that in a lot of ways. Like we have a lot of things that we fit the makeup of the man we want to be. They really work against us in a lot of ways.
And I've seen women manipulate that too. Like let's just say you was on a woman and she wasn't on nothing with you. Yeah. And so you cut back on the fire emojis. You cut back on the, what I'm saying, compliments or whatever the case may be. This butthurt ass nigga, now all of a sudden you ain't no I don't get no interaction, blah blah blah, woo woo. Like, no, I want to. I'm not getting. It's not being reciprocated, and this is taking. So that's draining. So I just want to stop that altogether. Yeah. But I also don't want to look weak. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm strong. I can handle it. Yeah. Nah.
Yeah, and she just trying to get that ego fit.
Exactly. That's all.
That's crazy. But damn, I didn't plan no advice for boy moms today. I guess all I can say that relate to the topic is like make sure you maintain the trust of your son by respecting their secrets. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you keep their secrets and make sure you always a safe space for them and keep your behavior consistent with them. Don't treat them one way behind closed doors and then when y'all get in public, it's a whole different scenario. What else some other things that boy moms can do to maintain trust with their son?
Have certain things that's just for y'all. Like, just for y'all. You don't need. I know for a fact, and my son, mama tell me, it's certain shit that they talk about. Yeah. She like, nah, that's just for me and him. And I'm like, that's cool. Now she do tell me a lot of shit, but she also be like, nigga, if you fuck up our relationship, I'll like that's gonna fuck everything up. Because there's been times she'd tell me something, and I wanted to check him about it. Like, no, he told me that, and you know what I'm saying, in private. Like, he trusts me to tell me that. So you can't, I'll deal with that. Yeah. So you can't check it. I'm like, fuck.
I got it. For my boy moms, be very cautious of your reactions when your sons tell you things that you don't like. If your son come to you, he might be older, he might be in high school. I don't care if it's as serious as a pregnancy scare or, whatever it is. They got drunk, they got hot, whatever, and they came and told you about it. Your reaction is going to dictate how comfortable they are telling you the other things that's going on in their life that they might actually really, really need you for. But they just like, nah, she going to freak the fuck out. She going to be dramatic. She going to do this. She going to do that. So I'm not saying you can't hold them accountable, but make sure that the initial conversation and when they come to you telling you things is always calm, is always met with understanding, receptiveness, and you just got to remain that safe space for them. Even, you know, shit could be unbalanced because you got to play the role of the disciplinarian and the nurturer, which isn't fair because Pop's supposed to be around and be the disciplinarian while you nurture, and he's supposed to be able to, you know, get the love from one parent, the accountability for the other parent, if that's how it's gonna go. But, you know, being a single parent, you got to play both roles, which is difficult and unfair, and you just got to lay it out the right way. Always lead with the love, and, you know, the correction can come later. But when they coming to you telling you something for the first time that they got an issue with, you definitely gonna want to lead with love and make it a safe space and continue to build that trust with them, because it's gonna dictate how much they're willing to share with you the next time they need you. So with that being said, whatever you chasing in life, make sure that you keep your foot on the gas, keep walking this path of improvement with me, my nigga Jones, my nigga Rail, Jody's here. Love y'all, man. Decide, plan, sacrifice.
Shoot.
We out.